Obesity has been called the new American epidemic by many doctors. It is estimated that 58 million Americans living in the United States are obese, and that 8 out of 10 people who are 25 or over are overweight. Obesity is easily Americans' fastest growing health concern. This condition, though, is not limited to American adults. Doctors have recently found that nearly 13% of all American children suffer from this problem, and that statistic is rising each year. Understanding the jump of childhood obesity rates is directly linked to understanding obesity itself. The American Academy of Pediatrics defines childhood obesity as occurring in kids who have a BMI of more than 30. Other institutions, though, suggest that a child whose body weight is at least 20% higher than a child of similar height is obese. No matter what the exact definition is, obesity is simply excess body fat. Obesity can not only increase the risk of psychological problems in kids, such as eating disorders, depression, and anxiety, but it can also put them at risk for all sorts of physiological problems, including heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. In fact, 45% of all new cases of juvenile type 2 diabetes are obesity-linked. Childhood obesity increases the risk of orthopedic problems because kids are forced to carry extra weight that their bone structure simply cannot handle. Bowed legs and arthritis are increasingly present. Obese kids also have more skin disorders than children of healthy weight. Obesity increases the skin area subject to folds, which in turn increases the problem like heat rash and dermatitis. All of this can create serious problems for a child and for our healthcare system. In 1979, the hospital costs associated with childhood obesity were $35 million. At the end of the decade, they had risen to $127 million. Some might suggest that the rise in childhood obesity rates is due to naturally occurring medical conditions like hypothyroidism and Cushing's syndrome. Each child who demonstrates symptoms of obesity should be careful to be evaluated by a medical professional for these conditions, although most doctors suggest that the occurrence of these problems in children is quite low, and the obesity epidemic is linked to more serious societal problems like low physical activity levels and poor eating habits. There's little doubt that childhood obesity rates are on the rise, and treatments for the problem may be simpler than you think. The best treatment for the problem on a societal level is prevention. This can be accomplished by increasing the number of mothers who breastfeed their babies, thereby delaying the induction of solid foods for 6 months of age, limiting the television and video game intake of toddlers and older kids alike, providing healthy, low-fat, nutritious snacks and meals for kids of all ages, and creating family exercise plans. If obesity is already present, treatment should include a manageable weight loss plan, behavior modification therapies, and nutrition counseling, and an exercise plan. Childhood obesity is on the rise, and clearly everyone is at risk from the effects of this devastating condition. This unknown problem in America needs attention. Our children are our future, so it is unacceptable to put them at risk for obesity and the health problems associated with being overweight. By advocating healthy diets, exercise, and education, the rapid increase in childhood obesity throughout the country can be ended. I do hope that this epidemic can be solved and that we can move forward with a healthier America.